Okay, so this is the best shot that I could get for my nails, so I hope that this is good, and let's please ignore the before shot of my nails. I normally always have acrylics on, so that's why my fingers look like this normally. But yeah, okay, so as you guys can tell from the years of having acrylics on, it's really messed up my natural nails, and I wish I could have natural nails, you know. I've tried dip in the past, but my nails would just keep breaking. So now I just kind of really stick to acrylics, and it's just what works for me. But my nails have paid for it, obviously. But first thing that we're going to do is we're going to clip our nails. So I'm going to be taking just a normal nail clipper, and I am just going to be clipping my nails down just because I don't want them this long underneath my nails, you know. So these if you don't want to cut your nails, then just keep them the length that you want them, but just gonna cut them out a little bit. So here are my clipped nails. And then next we're going to be going in with the file, and I'm just going to lightly file my nails because I honestly don't really care about the shape of my normal, like my natural nails. I'm going to be using, I don't even know how to say this brand. I think it's Market or Macart, something like that. But this is the 180 to 240 file. Everything that I have is basically from Amazon, so I will link everything down below. But I'm just going to briefly file my nails just so that they don't look too crazy underneath there. And I like to file the sides of my nails just so that that won't be showing on the nails themselves. So I just slightly do that, but you don't need to do much. And then taking out the sound. Doing your, well, I'm right-handed, so doing my right hand is a little bit more difficult for me. But as I've been doing this, it obviously gets easier. So with practice, it'll get easier. If you don't feel comfortable doing your non-dominant hand, or doing your dominant hand, sorry, because you're gonna have to use your non-dominant, you can ask somebody to help you with this. It's not difficult, so anybody that's around can help you, or just kind of practice. The more that you practice, the easier it'll get, I promise. The filing part itself is not hard with my non-dominant hand, I found. It's really the painting that gets difficult, so maybe you can ask somebody else to paint your hand. But like I said, with practice, it gets a lot easier. So I'm just slightly doing this to each nail. Doesn't need to be anything super crazy. Okay, like that, just to get these nice and prepped. So then next I'm going to be taking a cuticle pusher. Like I said, everything is from Amazon, so I'll link this down below on where I got mine. And I'm just going to push my cuticles back. I do have a cuticle remover, but I honestly find that just pushing my cuticles back is good enough for this. So, and if I have a lot of cuticle, I'll go in and trim them, but I have to see if I do have a lot to trim today. Okay, do you see this right here? This is part of my cuticle that I can't get out, so I need to clip that out. So I'm going to go ahead and take some cuticle cutters, and I'm going to go ahead and go in and clip this out. Now, when you are cutting your cuticles, you have to be super, super careful to not cut your actual skin. This does take a lot of practice. I have made myself bleed in the past, and you really have to know when to stop, basically. So I don't recommend this if you're new at giving yourself manicures, just because you can cut yourself really easily, and if you cut too much of it, you could risk getting an infection. So don't recommend unless you have something like that where it's just super easy just to clip off. But like I said, don't recommend to be clipping all of your cuticles. I'm gonna push these back. Okay, and then once we're all done with that, I like to just go in and brush my nails just to ensure that I got all of the little stuff off. And the brush that I use is honestly a makeup brush that I got from my BoxyCharm. So you can literally use any brush if you want to do this. Okay, next I'm just going to be taking a buffer and just buffing the tops of my nails. This will help the nails last a little bit longer. It just roughens the top layer of your nail, and it just helps the glue stick better to your nails. So you don't need to do too much of this, just a little bit. You'll be able to see that the shininess of your nails go away. So here's my nail before, and here's it after. As you can tell, just no more shine. So that's kind of how you know that you're good. Okay, and then I just like to brush one last time because that'll bring up a little bit of, again. So then just brushing those off. Okay, so this is prepped and primed for me, just kind of ready for the nails themselves. If you want to go in and cut your cuticles more or do more of that, then this is when you can do that. Also, if there's any dirt underneath your nails, then this is when you can go in and use some type of tool like this. So next is kind of like the big shocker of this whole thing basically, and it's the nail tips that I use and how I make this happen without using acrylic. So these are the nails that I use. These are the BT Art Box false nails. I will link these down below. I did get them off of Amazon. And basically it's a whole bunch of tips and a whole bunch of different sizes, and these are already pre-shaped to a coffin shape. I'm trying to show you guys. So they're already pre-shaped into a coffin shape for you. So that makes it super, super simple. And it's basically like a press-on nail because it's already like that. It's already shaped. It's super, super simple. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your tips and you're going to basically size these to your finger. So you're going to go ahead and see which one fits best on your fingers. Since I've been doing this for a bit, I kind of already know my sizes. So let me show you. So you don't want the nail to be bigger than your nail itself. It's not going to look natural. It's not going to look good. But also you don't want the nail to be too small for your finger. You know, you don't want your natural nail to be showing. You're going to want the perfect snug fit where it's to side to side. So as you can see, it covers that part of my nail and that part of my nail, and it's not too big, and I'm not having to press super hard on it to cover the whole nail, you know? So basically size all of your nails to the tips themselves. So basically what I do is that I take the nails and I basically lay them out. Like if my hands were like this, I'm going to go ahead and do my pinky, my ring finger, my middle finger, my pointer, and then my thumb. So I'm basically going to lay them out like this, and then going on this hand, doing my thumb, my pointer finger, my middle finger, my ring finger, and my pinky. So I'm going to lay them out like that. So let me go ahead and size them. For the most part, I have my sizes pretty much memorized at this point, but sometimes it's a bit different, you know? And also a tip that I have is don't assume just because one size fits on this thumb doesn't mean it's going to fit on this thumb. So don't just assume that your sizes are going to be the same on each finger. There could be different sizes for the same finger just on a different hand. Okay, so here's an example of that, okay? So on this thumb, I have this size. Also, these do have numbers at the tip of them. They're just clear, so it's a bit harder. So this is the size 3. So as you guys can tell, the size 3 does fit onto this thumb. Sorry, I'm moving. It fits on this thumb well. Like that's that size for this finger. But for this thumb, as I'm pushing down, like there's some space right here, like it's not fitting as well. So I'm going up a size to the size 2, and that's the perfect size for this thumb, that there's no space. So, well, that's what I mean by don't assume that one size is the same for the other hand. You definitely want to still try all of the sizes on each finger. So as you can tell, here are all of my nails laid out and all sized. Like I said, it's basically going like this on my hand. So here are my 2 thumbs, and then here are my ring fingers, my middle, my ring, and my pinkies. So I'm gonna go in with some glue. This one's just the Kiss Pink Gel glue, but all of Kiss glue is super, super good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take each nail. I like to go in the direction this way, because if each time that you're, so like let's pretend I'm painting, my hand is like touching this, you know, so it just ensures that you're not getting in your way. So I'm just gonna take each tip, and in the base you're gonna put a bit of glue, and then I just spread it out a little bit on each nail, just covering all of the sides. And then you're gonna take this nail and you're gonna go onto your finger, and you're gonna line it up above and then lay it down and push, making sure that there's no air bubbles in the glue itself. You don't want to see any bubbles. You want it to look like basically your nail. I do have the clear tips because that's what I prefer, but you can get them in white, I believe, or a natural color, like it's like a sheer white. So I hold this for about 10 seconds, and then once you release, your nail is stuck on, and you'll be able to do normal things with it. So here it is. It's definitely a longer coffin, but I honestly really do love the shape of these. They're honestly my favorite. When I was doing longer nails, I have been on a shorter trend right now, but when I was doing longer nails, I honestly just filed this little bit up here and then left it like that, but I don't think that's what we're gonna do today. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that same process onto all of my nails, and then we'll move on to the next step. And it's very important to size these correctly to your nails, because if it's too small, the nail is just gonna pop back up because it's gonna be too small for your nail. So it'll pop up and it just won't stick to your nail. And then if it's too big, it'll be hanging off the sides. So just make sure to size as well as possible. So here is one hand completely with the tips on, and now I'm gonna work onto this hand. Now, I did this a bit backwards, honestly. I normally really like to do my right hand first because then I have these nails, you know? But I did them backwards, so it's fine. But if you're definitely doing this first, I definitely recommend to start with your least dominant hand so you don't have these super long claws in the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these tips on now. Okay, so now I have all of my tips on. As you guys can tell, they are on, I promise you. And these are super, super thick. I can't see if you guys can see. These are super thick. I really love these. So yeah. So now I'm going to be going in with my nail clipper. This is the one that I have. Basically, this is one of those ones where you put into your nail like this and then clip. I highly recommend to get one of these if you are going to get these tips. These tips are thick, so since they're thicker, I've tried to use normal nail clippers and it just makes like this weird dent, and it doesn't cut them. So you are going to need one of these, or just make sure that your nail clippers are super sturdy. So I'm going to go in, and this is when you are able to size as low as you want or as long as you want. You can size these to, like, if you want, like I've cut just like the number off and then just done that. So you can definitely do as long or as short as you want with these. I am definitely going to be doing a bit of a shorter look with my nails personally. So like I said, I suggest to start with your least dominant hand. So in this case, I'm going to be starting with my right hand. So I'm going to be cutting about that much off, I believe. Keep your nail as straight as you possibly can just to get an even cut, and you're going to cut through. And then this is when you can decide if that's the shape and the size that you, or sorry, the size that you want. If it's too long, then go back in. But this shows off the thickness of the nail a little bit more. So yeah, so now I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of these. Personally, to get the same shape or same length, I like to hold my nails as close to each other, and I do it by using the end of my nails. So lining these up, and then I look at it and I try to eyeball it a little bit. You'll get better with this with time. So then I'm going to go in and I'm going to take off a little bit. It's better to go longer than shorter, obviously, because then you can cut more off. So I'm going to cut right there. There's that. And then I'm going to go back in and see if these are the same length. And as you guys can see, they are. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. As you guys can tell, there is this bit of a whiteness right here. When you cut the nails, that's what's going to happen because these are clear. So just expect that, but it's not the end of the world. You're going to be painting over these. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do this to all of the nails, and you basically are just going to be cutting and lining up. So as you guys can tell right here, this one is obviously longer. So I'm going to go back in. And we're going to cut a little bit. And you just want to cut the smallest bit just so you can relook and then resize if anything. So a little bit more. Like so. And then, as you guys can tell, they are the same length now. So just gonna do that to the rest of my nails. And then when you're I'll show you guys once I move on to this hand, so how I size those. Okay, and then once we're done with this hand, here's the kind of before, you know. For this hand, basically what I do is I hold them like this. So here's my pinkies, and you're gonna hold like this, and that's how you measure. So each finger, you measure like that. And I like to do finger by finger because that's a bit easier. So yeah. So cutting first. I can already tell that that's too long, but we can measure. Definitely too long. I do like the length of longer nails, but I've been liking the shorter look currently. These aren't even that short, to be honest. Like, they are pretty long for other people. These are short for me, but for others, they are long. So you can really do these as long or as short as you want. And there we are. So here are all of my nails all cut short. Here are all of the tips. I'm just gonna put these off to the side so that I can throw those out. And then now here is an optional step. You can just go straight like this if you'd like, but I feel like you still need to file them a little bit. So I'm gonna go back in with my file, the same one. And basically what I do for each nail is I just shape the top a little bit just to make it, just because when you cut it, it just has like this kind of rougher edge than you would like. So I just do that. And then you don't have to shape these at all, at least in my preference, but I just like to file them just a slight bit, nothing too crazy. and that's perfect for me. If you want more of a coffin shape, if it's not skinny enough for you, that's when you can go in and file. Or if you're wanting like an almond shape, this is when you can go in and file to the exact shape that you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that to each nail. Like I said, I don't do much to these personally, because I do like the kind of squarish coffin shape, but all personal preference. But I am liking the more square kind of look. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that to all of these. And with my right hand, my less dominant hand, I found that it's sometimes easier to move my actual nail and not the file. Or on this hand, I'm moving just the file. It's easier. But on this hand, it's harder to do that. So I move my finger, not the file itself. So as you guys can tell, I'm moving my finger and not the file. So then once they're all shaped, I like to go ahead and brush off any of the dust on my nails just to make sure that they're nice and clean. Making sure to get under them because that's mainly where all of the dust is. Okay, and that's basically the nails. No, I'm just kidding. Next is to paint, but this is basically the kind of whole nail process. Like I said, make sure that these are as shaped as you want them. If you want them skinnier, do that. This is basically kind of my secret for my nails. I know it's not that big of a process, so that's why when I got so many comments on them, I was just kind of like, wow, thanks, but like I can just kind of explain it to you like pretty quickly that what I do. But I still had questions, so I figured to still make this video. So for my nails, I honestly don't even know what color I want. So I do have these nail wheels. Now this is just myself. You obviously don't need this. I have these because I'm learning how to do acrylic nails, like actual acrylic. These are just easier on myself, I found. So these I personally like on myself. But I'm currently learning how to do actual acrylic nails. So I do have some colors of nail polish. So here's like my regular nail polish. So these are just regular, and then these are my actual gel polishes that I have. I do want to get some more as I learn more, but I just don't know what color I want. I don't know if I should go for like pink or red. I feel like nude is always what I'm drawn to. Or maybe I want like, you know, I don't know what I want. I'm thinking nude, honestly. I had black nails last. I think I'm gonna go, should I do number 6 or number 7? I'm honestly feeling number 7 today, so I'm gonna do this one. Now this is a gel polish, but you can do these with normal polish. This is the last color that I had on my nails. It's just a black shade, but it was normal polish. So you're basically gonna go in. I'll show you guys what my tips are for normal polish, but for this, I'm gonna be using normal gel. I'm going to show you guys what I need for this. There's still an extra step that I do for each nails. So basically I'm going to go back in with this, and you're going to basically do the same thing. So like I said, you don't want the shine on your nails. Basically, that's how you tell. So like this. Okay, so just do that to each one of your nail tips. And the easiest way to explain this is to take off all of the shine off your nails. Okay, and then for my basics for each gel, So I use the Sensational Light. I got this at Target. It is a smaller lamp itself, but it turns blue, you know. So that's the lamp that I use. The gel nail polishes that I use, today I'm using the Sensational, which is what you can get from Target. And this is in the shade Nude Mood. But I will link some of my favorite nail polish brands down below. And then for top coat, I use this top coat. For my gel nail polishes, it's a no wipe top coat, so that's why I recommend this one. And then if you're using normal polish, this is the best top coat you could get. It's the Seche Vite top coat. This is a dry fast top coat, and when I say dry fast, like your nails will be dry in less than 5 minutes with this. So I highly recommend this if you're using normal polish. Please get this. It'll make your nails dry a lot faster, and it gives it that nice shiny glow that you are wanting. So highly recommend this a lot. So when I paint my nails, I do work on my right hand first. With gel polish, it doesn't matter as much because it's going to be dry, but you do want to work on this, and I work from my pinky to my thumb. So I'm going to show you guys a bit of me painting, but I honestly have just learned how to paint my nails through time, you know, like it's just what we do, you know. So basically I just lay my hand down. I'm trying to show you guys but also not block the view, and I just go in and I start in the middle and I do that, and then I go to side to side like so. And that'll basically give you the even coverage. And then I like to go in and I like to basically, what this is called is capping the nail, and you just cap it by like that, and then that nail is done. So here's the nail. I know this polish is it's a lighter polish, so it's harder to see. So I'm gonna fast forward the rest of this because I honestly, I mean, I'm pretty good at painting my nails, but I'm not good at giving tips for it. So my tips are just to take your time and just get it clean. And if you get it on your hand, that's fine. Just go in with some nail polish remover and take it off. And if you don't like the way that your painting is coming out, then just start over. Like I said, your not dominant hand is going to be the harder hand for you to do. And another tip that I have found with painting my less dominant hand is I like to move, same thing with the file basically, I like to move my nail and I rotate my nail and I don't rotate the brush. So the brush is staying in the same position and I'm rotating my nail side to side. And that makes it a lot easier to get a good coat on there. So try that out. Rotate your nail, not the brush. Because I found that if I'm rotating my brush, then I'm more prone to get it on my skin because I'm trying to get the right angle for it. Where if you just move your nail, then it's right there. Like so. And again, cap it. So I got some under here, that's fine, but just cap it. So now with the light that I have, it's a smaller light, so I can only fit these 4 nails in, and then I do my thumbs at the same time. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring my light in so you guys can see, and I'm just gonna put this underneath the light. This is timed for 30 seconds, so I do 2 of these per thing. So so once the light turns off, I'll put them back in. Okay, and then here are the nails all cured. So then I personally do 1 coat, and then I'm going to move on to this hand to do this 1 coat. That's just how I do it. If you want to do, like, completely finish this hand, then you can do that as well. But yeah, so I'm going to move this out so you guys can see on this hand. But I do the same thing. All same. So here's this hand, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Okay, and now we're gonna do our thumbs. Okay, and then I'm gonna put both of my thumbs into this light, like this. Okay, so now all of my nails have one coat on them. Personally, I'm gonna go in with the second coat because that's what I prefer. If you want to just keep it with one coat, you can do that, but I'm gonna go in with the second coat. So we're just gonna repeat all of the same processes. Once I've done that, I will come back to you guys. But yeah, just the same thing. Okay, so here are the nails. So good. Now personally, I always feel like they are a bit sticky. So basically what the no wipe off means on this means that you're not going to need to wipe these with alcohol because they shouldn't be sticky. Personally, I always feel like they're sticky, so I am going to go in with a bit of rubbing alcohol myself. So this is just regular rubbing alcohol. And you're just going to take this on a cotton pad. And you're just going to take a little bit. And I like to rub this on each one of my nails. And I just find it takes off that sticky layer and it just makes your nails look completely done. Okay, so all of my nails are done. Honestly, this is the easiest way that I have found to give myself a manicure. They aren't perfect, you know, like I definitely have room for improvement, but you know, for an at-home manicure, I am more than happy. Now, the last step is just to take some cuticle oil. This is the cuticle oil that I just use. And personally, cuticle oil is not my favorite thing. Like, I honestly really hate it, but it does help your cuticles. So I just literally like to take the smallest bit on each nail. But if you like cuticle oil, then, you know, drown in it. But it does make your nails look a lot healthier, so definitely apply it to your cuticles. But here are the finished nails. I love them. I love this color. And yeah, I hope this video was super helpful. I love you guys so much. I will see you guys in my next upload. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions, leave them down below and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So love you guys so much. This is me blowing a kiss. I love you guys.